You ready for it? you, you. You ready for it? They hit me up in the DMs. They're like, "Is it Thursday yet? Is it Thursday yet? Can we play D&D now?" Welcome back. As our man Keanu would say, "Yeah, I guess I'm back." What's going on? Yes, sir. Let's roll. Welcome back to Coffee Break. The fam is here. The contingents are here. You know what we do. I see those hearts rolling in. What's going on? I see those eyes out there. Welcome back to Coffee Break. I don't know where the time goes, man. I feel like we just did this. Or maybe it's because I'm doing lives like every night. But this is special. You caffeines are special. You know who you are. You know who you are. Where's my shit? Caffeines. Friends of regulars, not decaf. A coffee break with Jay and well, hello. How you guys doing? What's new? That's right. We don't do decaf around here. Get that orange top out of here. We don't do that. Strictly brown tops up in this. You know what I mean? You heard? So on the Patreon, Jared D, you know him in the street, says, "No, no, notorious." Did a Zapruder film style rundown of the latest It Ain't Hard to Tell with myself and Mike Hawthorne. I think we had like 90 comments under the thread. But you know what? It makes me feel good that people are into what we're doing. They're interested. Yo, I'm back. Yo, what up, El Jamal? Sip of coffee for El Jamal. International Space Coaster. Hey, what up? You know it's almost the end of August, but it's always July when my man Julian's in the building. What up? Good to see my crew. You know how we do. I can't wait for us to have a meetup, y'all. But you know what sucks? This is kind of like at the end of school. It's funny because a lot of you guys with kids are going back to school. Well, you remember when we were young, and maybe you got like a yearbook or some sort of like end of year wrap up. I guess I'm not going to see you until next fall type of thing. Or you made some friends over the summer that go to your school, and you go, I hope we, I don't like, I hope like if you see me in the hall, you'll say hello, right? Yeah. There's always that nervousness about, is this going to last? The people that wrote, and maybe this is where we'll start. Anybody that ever wrote in somebody's yearbook when you were little, or if you were bigger, or if you were in high school, it's some of my favorite yearbook joints. They're all the same. It's like, to the coolest bro I know, stay cool. And the famous 3 letters, KIT, keep in touch. And then they put their phone number sometimes. I don't even know, do kids even do that anymore? Do they have yearbooks? Do you sign people's yearbooks anymore? Yo, what up, Ben Harvey? I see you out there, cousin. How you feeling? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I would love to do a meetup. But I don't think I'll have the. Oh, yearbooks are expensive, aren't they? I remember ours were expensive. And I don't have a. For some reason, I have a very spotty history with yearbooks. Like the yearbooks I have, like I'm not in it, and I don't know why. Like, was I cutting or something? And I'm sorry. Like that has a different meaning in 2021, but I was truant from school because I don't think I have any yearbooks that actually have my picture in it. It's weird. I remember once, real rap. I don't think I could afford the school picture. I can't remember. Oh no, I remember there was one time. I think it was when I was in high school. It was one of the years, and they kind of stopped having. What are the name of the yearbook photo people that come? Jostin is the school rings, but there's like a company. And I remember that year they didn't come to school, and you had to go to a studio somewhere. And I was just like, and it just never happened. Matt says yearbook Kindle edition. Yo, you got the ebook, son? Yo, I'll sign your Kindle. Elgin Mall says my kids have no interest in yearbooks. Why not? It's a snapshot of your youth. JRD says Kidlit's high school yearbook costs more than my college year. What's that about? What's the hustle? Yearbooksology. Yeah, you can just swipe through. That's funny. But yeah, there's it's weird, and anybody that knew me in Kappa in high school, creative and performing arts, everybody's heard the stories about how I went to high school with all these famous people. I like to think now that somewhere one of those guys is going, "Oh, I went to school with Jamar Nicholas," which that's kind of dope, right? If you think about it that way. But yeah, if you go to their Wikipedia site, I'm on there as a okay. Ready for Sue's pose? Notable alumni. But there's for some reason there was this, I don't know, you could probably find it if you Google it. Somebody got like a couple of pages from one of the creative and performing arts yearbooks from the mid to late 80s, and it has like a bunch of like most of the guys from the Roots, Boys and Men's in there, a couple other people who are famous musicians or singers are in there, and people were like there's circles around people like, oh yo, that's dude, but it's kind of obvious who these people are. We're just kids, and I'm looking through there and I was like, how come I'm not on there? And for the life of me, I cannot remember why I'm not in these yearbooks. I went to school. If you talk to these people, they'll say, "Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah, the art dude." I don't know. I just remember that I wasn't super interested in that at the time. Rich, what's up, Rich? Rich says I didn't have respect for the price of yearbooks until I started self-publishing. Facts. JRD says my college yearbook was 300 pages, fake leather cover, $70. Kidlit's was 90 pages. Gloss finish, $75. How about Trifiddy? Fletch, what up, Fletch? Is it Thursday yet? I gotta say, I walk around all day in the back of my head saying, is it Thursday yet? That might have to be on this coffee mug that's never going to happen. Is it Thursday yet? Coffee break with JM. Fletch says, I was in the yearbook staff. Had to pick and lay out all the pictures on graph paper to send off to the company to make. Yeah, that's old school. You had to paste it up. JRD says, of course I went to an ACC school, so ours was subsidized by old white dudes giving way too much cash to athletics and nothing to academics, and the athletes got free yearbooks. But who's bitter? Not you, JRD. There's no salt in your grits. You see what I did there? Remember back in the 70s, remember Alice? Remember the show Alice? Which the whole gimmick of the show was that, wasn't Linda Lavin, wasn't she like a divorcee? That's a lot of those like Norman Lear era shows. It's kind of like the new world. People are divorced. People are like moving on up. to an apartment on the east side, and or I don't know, she had some sort of spousal issue, and she moved. It was like Phoenix or something like that, and she wound up being a waitress in Mel's Diner, and the wackiness ensues. And there was Flo, the sassy waitress or server. I'm sorry, who was very southern and called everybody Suge, right? Did she say that? All I just remember was everybody had a gimmick, and her tagline was "Kiss my grits," and people were like, "Wah!" Like that was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Wah! She said it, much like what you talking about, Willis. And I wonder when that was happening if people who were laughing at that actually had grits before, or was it just funny? They don't really do that anymore. That's like a long forgotten part of sitcoms, is the catchphrase. And it's probably like, if I can remember, maybe Friends was the last kind of show to have somebody that had like one liner catchphrases like Joey. But I think a lot about Urkel, like or the twins from Full House. You got it, dude. You know, all that stuff. Dynamite. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, why don't you guys throw out some of your favorite TV catchphrases? Dynamite's up there, right? Who doesn't love? What was that MF Doom line? What could I say? Like JJ with a gold cape. Those were my favorite episodes. He came in the room with a gold cape. They're like, JJ, you sure look whatever. JJ, you sure look fly. Oh, what can I say? Oh, there you go. JRD's got it. Alice's husband died. Car broke down halfway across the country on the way to live with her sister, and she got a job at the diner they were stopped at waiting for the tow truck. Did they just throw darts at a corkboard to come up with that plot? But you couldn't do Alice in 2021 because she would just like call an Uber, right? That's fantastic. Everybody remembers this. I don't remember. But you know what? Also, what was great storytelling in those old shows is that you got the whole idea for the show from the intro. Because I remember Alice, like they show the highway, they show her car on the side of the road. Now I remember. I remember. Stick of butter, loaf of bread, quart of milk. And it just sets up the whole show, and then you go right in. You don't need a backstory. It's all right there in the front. Yeah, there was this. Suze, you're right. TV theme songs used to be awesome. I was just watching. Is it on CNN? Like they're doing like the sitcoms or something, and they had some like Alan Thicke people or something. They were talking about jingles and like how come there's no memorable theme songs anymore, which I think is really interesting. Maybe again, like I used to watch a lot of TV. I just don't anymore. But I'm thinking of like catchy, iconic theme songs. And the last kind of stuff I remember being really like the Seinfeld noise, Friends. Oh, the dun dun, the like the dong or gong or bell or whatever that sound is in Law and Order. Little Barbarino for you. Up your nose with a rubber hose. All right. I guess this is what we're doing. We're doing TV tonight. Let's talk about Welcome Back, Kotter for a second. There's no way in 2021 you could have the same premise and the same scenarios of that show work in 2021. Most of this stuff wouldn't work now. Not even because people have cell phones or whatever. Think of the idea of this gang. It's a gang, right? Even though they're lovable miscreants. This gang of high school misfits who hang out at their teacher's house. I mean apartment, and they're usually with his wife before he even gets home. Like I remember, like a lot of the episodes, Mr. Cotter's walking in the door, and the sweat hogs are in his house with his wife Julie. Could you do that in 21? I would like to discuss that. Oh wait, Rich with Alice. She ended up working at the diner to pay it to get fixed or something. Was she paying off a debt? Was that kind of like, well, one of the gimmicks? It was like Two Broke Girls, where they kind of had the running total at the end of every episode, so they can make money to open a bakery. JRD says, I was a weird kid. The first catchphrase that grabbed me was, "This is Nightline." Matt says, wasn't Alice based on a play? Well, I think it was. Was it Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore? Or that was a movie. We're going way back in time, you guys. I might need some help. Seinfeld ruined jingles. You think so? Yo, Matt is peeping my background. Yo, you haven't mailed Rod's magazine yet. Is it Thursday yet? So last night on Pencil to Pencil, we had the magnificent Ron Garney. We had some spousal tension in the chat room with Matt and Suze and Ron in a very torrid triangle. And I showed Ron this cover, this issue of Publishers Weekly, because I get Publishers Weekly now, and he's on it with this, the big publishing news is Keanu Reeves co-writing this comic book Berserker, and our man Ron Garney is the artist on it. And Ron was like, "Yo, for real? I haven't seen that. Can I have that?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll send it to you." And Matt just peeped it in the background, like, "Yo, you didn't run to the post office and put that in the mail for Ron Garney?" But yeah, he'll get it. That was a really good episode. If you missed it, go back and watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. We talked a lot about Keanu Reeves, and I wanted to wait till the end because I also didn't want it to feel like we just had him on to talk about Keanu Reeves, because it's just like Ron's been in the business for a really long time. He's worked on almost every major superhero book, and I want to think that things like that don't define you. It's just like what you're doing now, and I'm happy for the success of it. But Ron's one of my favorite Captain America artists. Everybody can like run off something that they like of Ron's. So anyway, it was a great episode. Jamal says theme songs don't matter in an era where you can skip the intros. Ooh, yeah, and they even have the little skip John at the bottom of the screen, so you just go right through it. Wow, what happened to our culture? JRD says Seinfeld did not want a theme song because it would take away from his shtick. Then other shows copied the lack of theme song music from it. They realized that saved minute could be sold as ad time. This is like the smartest kids in the room. JRD says they do the sweat hogs at their teacher's house all the time now, except they call it prawn with a 0 instead of an O. I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say it, so thanks, JRD. Flesh says, I don't even think you could get away with calling kids sweat hogs. Now I got the hiccup. Sweat hogs, he said. Hey, I was right. Do I get a gnaw prize for that? The Juan Epstein Memorial Playground. Shout out to Doc. Matt says Juan could hang out at Mr. Cotter's house because he had a note from his mom. Signed Epstein's mother. Hey, Mr. Cotter, Mr. Cotter, check it out. Dear Mr. Cotter, please excuse Epstein from class. He has to get an autopsy. Love, Epstein's mom, or whatever. Yeah, and people would always laugh at that stuff. All right, we're going back to Ron. JRD says Ron was also noticing the lovely Suzanne. He's no fool. That's our new thing. That's a new part of the Coffee Break with JN lexicon. I'll have to type it in. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. The new thing that's sweeping the nation. Everybody's doing the brand new dance now. Come on, everybody. Do the Sue's pose. Sip of coffee for Sue's. You're a good sport. Sue says Ron designed freaking movie costumes. He's amazing. It was a great pencil to pencil last night. Thank you, dear. Dear Mr. Carter. But yeah, we've talked about this a million times about TV, and to be of our generation, as I think if I had to run a demographic on who's watching this right now, it's us. It's us people. Well, we kind of were raised by the TV, but we also had, I don't know, I think for the most part, if you weren't like a shut-in or something like that, you had other things that you did. You might go to the rec room and, play a game every night, or you had like head-to-head football. But there's always time for television. TV always had its space in your life. Thinking about just how close we hold Saturday morning cartoons. Very underrated, and people always seem to forget about this. After school cartoons, the after school special, a very special episode of Different Strokes, like all of this very special stuff that I think got lost in the Nickelodeon cable television generation when you could just go to a channel and there's just cartoons on. Took away from just like the specialness because you had to wait. And I want to think, and maybe I'm wrong because I know a lot of impatient people, I think a lot of our patience comes from living in a time where you had to wait for stuff. If you got a good report card and you got to go to Kitty City or Toys R Us or whatever, you might have to wait till the weekend. You might have to wait for 2 weeks until your dad comes back from his trip. You may have to wait for the baked potato to get done in the oven so you can eat your after-school snack and watch Thundercats. So I just made a new show. It's Silverhawks and Thundercats. Right? Yeah, Matt says, instant gratification has cost us something. I mean, it's too far going now. We're all swimming in it. Like it's our air we breathe now. And sometimes I fight against it. I've seen myself kind of like spin down when I have too much choice. One of the things that I still have and I can't seem to let go of are my old CDs. Yo, you like CDs? We talked about that. Like everybody just ran and dumped all their CDs or ripped them and put them on their iPod, and the iPod dies. But speaking of that, and it's something that I didn't really get into too much the last time we talked about it, the idea of mass choice, I'll call it that, I think you lose a lot of context in things also, right? Like I remember somebody asking me once, or more than once, hey JN, I don't know anything about hip hop or rap music. I want to listen to rap music. Where do I start? And it's just like, question mark. It's like the gif of my man's like, with the question marks all over him. You kind of had to have been in it, right? But I don't think it's the same if I said, oh, you know what? Public Enemy is probably one of the greatest rap groups of all time. Here's their entire catalog. It's too much. Right? But, and I guess there's no time machine and like whatever, wherever you were in the world, that's kind of where you got on and you wrote things out. I remember when Yo Bum Rush the Show came out. I was like, yo, this is hot. I remember when Nation of Millions came out. I remember when Fear of a Black Planet came out. And it's just, you kind of like evolve with the times and the group or whatever. But I don't know if it means the same thing to go here. Now I have plenty of like, what do you call it, anthology CDs, or like, I have this really cool thing called like the hip hop box, and this is really cool, like, like a Christmas gift type of thing you would never buy yourself, but somebody will buy you. And it looks like a boom box, and you open the things, and there's 4 CDs. Yo, you like CDs? And every CD has like an era of rap music on it. Like the first one is Rapper's Delight, and then by the end of it, like number 3 is like Tupac. Jamal says, "You start with Rakim," but you understand what I'm saying. Like, I maybe that's it. Like, if somebody asks you something like that, or if you're like, "Oh, okay, cool," there's this group, I'll just put it on Spotify and just listen to this stuff for a week. I think it's too much. It's too much. Like, how do you feed a bird? A little bit of bread at a time. You don't give them the whole loaf. Oh, you like that? Well, here's this. You know, I don't know. I don't know if any of you guys have run into problems like that, or maybe you like having every album ever on the internet that you could just go like that. The infinite jukebox. Fletch says, not only do we have to wait for stuff, but if you missed it, you missed it. Probably for years. That's super true, Fletch. I put on my Facebook wall a little while ago, maybe like every couple of years I'll put it on there again. There was this after school special. I think it was an ABC after school special. And I don't even think it was an after school special. Do you remember when like weird stuff would come on television in the middle of the early evening on a Saturday? It's like 6 p.m. on a Saturday, and just a show would come on, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. And there was this after school special called The Pilot. And Kelly Jo Minter? Not Wendy Jo Sperber from Bosom Buddies and Back to the Future, but Kelly Jo Minter, I think she was in, she was in stuff. I can't remember. She kind of had a Ray Dong Chong vibe. And it was this high school, like it was very Californian. It was like California high school where you leave the building and you walk out and go to another floor in a plaza. And these kids were breakdancing, and the breakdancing was really good. It was like, oh, okay, type of breakdancing. Because if you remember back then, breakdancing was like breaking. And we all love breaking, I'm not going to front. But it was more like, there wasn't Beat Street, right? So Kelly Jo gets bullied in the middle of the schoolyard by some breakdancing young toughs. They were thugs. They were young toughs, and embarrass her. And then she goes to her room and puts on a flight suit and like a bomber helmet and goggles with a flourish of a scarf. It is the most amazing breakdancer. And she goes to school and has a battle with the main breakdance dude, and we all learn a lesson about friendship at the end. And I saw that once, or I saw it once on TV, and it was like the early 80s. It had to have been like 83, 84, something like that. And I was like, this is amazing. And nobody knew what I was talking about. And I never would have saw that if I was, the TV was always on. And I found it on YouTube, and I share it with people, and they're like, yo, because you just missed a lot, right? I mean, how many people, well, this is another thing. We used to do this, and I'm sure almost everybody did it. You recorded the radio. You used to record like hours, blocks of programming on the radio. This reminds me more of back when rap wasn't on. Like the rap hour was like Friday nights on, the local radio station, and then it was over. You heard no more rap, right? That's why like Run DMC was a big deal, because they got on the radio. And it was like, was it 7:30 p.m.? It was like the Rap Attack or whatever. You press record on that fresh tape, and you just let it play. and then that took you through the whole week. I used to let my tape rock till the tape pop, and then next Friday you put in another tape. But now it's all right here in front of us. Time for an ID. I've been running my mouth. You're watching Coffee Break with JN, with your boy JN, aka Jamar Nicholas, my government. Well, hello. What happens here? Well, you get to watch me, cartoonist and man of letters, Captain Scholastic to some. Some call me Maurice. Drink coffee and run my mouth. And when I finish my coffee, end of line. Good to see you guys. While I'm here, I'm going to give a good looking out to my GLOs. I haven't updated this thing. I'm sorry. My undiagnosed ADHD strikes again. I'll get to it. I promise. I love you all. These fine people scrolling at the bottom of your screen. You see the John. Follow the John. Like follow the bouncing John. Are people who support my career with love and monetary friendship. I can't do any of this stuff without your support. I love you all. If you're interested in jumping on the Patreon train, feel free to check out my site. I'm crawling close to 50 members. I can't wait till we get 50 Patronuses. Then we unlock the power of, I don't know, I'll do something really special. So I need 4 more people to get to 50. I never thought we'd get this far, but I'm excited about the culture we've created. Coffee Break with JN is a testament to revival, the testament to the tabernacle. You get to hang out with the Black Dick Cavett, the Kevin Bacon of comics, Jamar Nicholas, and we talk that good talk. Hello. All right, what'd I miss? Sue says, oh, hold on, I gotta get it in there. There you go. There it is. You know what that was? Where is it? All right, everybody. Sue's pose break. And I'm not making fun of her. I think it's sweet. It's very awesome. We all should Sue's pose. We're going to take a Sue's pose break. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. I totally stopped what I was doing. Sorry, Sue. TV shows were events. Yes. Watching with everyone else was destination TV. Yes, yes. Everyone discussed the TV shows from the night before in school the next day. Triple yes. Couture say yes. People of our age will tell you about the Motown 25th Michael Jackson moonwalk, because the world was watching that at the same time. I just don't think TV means the same anymore. Yeah, Netflix, there's everybody streaming the same thing. I enjoyed watching the Bird Box, and everybody on Twitter was like, yo, what's up with Sandra Bullock? That was fun, but it's just like, I don't know, it's not the same. Speaking of CDs, yo, Jamal, you like CDs? Jamal says, I don't have CDs, but I have lots of DVDs, as I like to call it, and Blu-rays. You know what? I was starting to kind of like fall back into getting Blu-rays. That stuff is dumb cheap. If you go to the thrift or like a yard sale, people are just like, here. Like if you're walking down the street, somebody will come out of their house with a tub and go, here's all my Blu-rays. Yo, there's like Criterions in here. Yeah, I don't want it. Just take it. Stuff is dumb cheap. And if you're like a physical hoarder like me, like I can't pass it up. Like, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever watch, I don't know. I can't pick The Marine with John Cena, but it's on Blu-ray. I gotta cop it. All right, let's get down here. So we talked about Rakim. Yo, July says, I got playlists that I made for this, and depending on the age, I'd probably make specific lists. Wow, you have you never listen to rap playlists? I want to hear that. Yo, give me the link, fam. I'd love to see what that looks like. I don't mess with Spotify playlists. I probably should. I know our man Mike Hawthorne, that's one of his Patreon perks, is he makes he shares his playlist of what he's rocking in the studio that month. I think that's really cool. When I used to go to the gym, yeah, I actually went to the gym. I was a gym rat for for a small period of time. I had an iPod. It wasn't a Nano because the Nanos were like this, and the last Nanos had the circle joint, and then they had a little color window. Mine was just it was like a little tic tac. It was like this little square with the button in it, and I think it was like a gig of space. You had enough to put like 10 songs on it, and it was perfect for working out. I guess I'm only working out for 10 songs, but it's perfect for the treadmill. And you would and it had a clip on it, so you could just like clip it to to your show business, and put in your headphones and just rock. I forget the name. If anybody remembers what those tiny little iPods were, I love that thing. But you made a playlist by that because you only had space for 10 things. Suze, oh, hey Matt. Matt says Suze was giving me hell today over the days when I'd make us leave a get together with friends and go home and watch Millennium before DVRs. I'll shout this from a mountaintop. I think DVRs is one of the most amazing advances to our human technology. DVRs changed everything, bro. How many fights did you get over because you recorded over the wedding video of Monday Night Football? I had, and this was like an early flip. I used to sell hip hop video tapes on eBay, and because I'm talking about taping stuff back when the hip hop shows would come on, like I think if you're savvy enough to know how to set up the VCR, remember there was just like these lines with dates on it, and you could actually set up record times on some of the VCRs, and I would record the daily Yo MTV Raps back. Remember when MTV played music? Remember that? MTV Raps, Pump It Up with Sister D, and then there was a local joint by I forget. I think it was called Crush. I think it was Crush TV or Crush Videos or something like that. And the music box, all that stuff, and you would just rock that. And as I never threw anything away, I started like dubbing those like back like up in the eBay era, and I was like, "Yo, get this tape." And I remember this was weird. There was this one dude who was like really into third base, and he was like emailing me all the time like, "Yo, you got any more third base?" I'm like, "Yo, you got any more third base?" And I was like, "Fam, stop emailing me." But yeah, DVRs. Jamal says the most. Oh, I saw that. I had to have one of those like look away moments. I just clicked off of it because I was going to cop it. The Smithsonian Anthology of Hip Hop and Rap Covers in '79 to 2013. It's a weird place to stop. On 9 CD, with 129 tracks and a 300-page coffee table book. See, that's totally what I would be into. I'm trying to stop myself. Rich, what up, Rich? Rich says, I used to record the radio, and I thought if I talked, it would record your voice too. My brother came in blabbing, and I was so pissed because he messed up Pet Shop Boys Western Girls. Western Girls. Wow. Oh, we do it by names. That's great. Jamartown, Philly, back again. Yo. A little hip hop swing. Matt says, I have CDs, Blu-rays, DVDs, books. The only thing I don't have is space. I love it. Sue says, OMG, I gotta go to yard sales. We have 1,000 DVDs. Yo. And now they have like, what do they call it? I guess they call it retail arbitrage, but like our man Gary V is doing like yard sale flips. And it's kind of like, it makes everybody like, you're like a bum if you want to sleep in on a Saturday. Nah, fam, you got to get up at 6. We got to hit these yard sales, cousin. if you live in a neighborhood where there's good trash, I know it sounds weird, but there was kind of like a dumpster diving renaissance. What do they call it? Upcycling or something like that. You're in somebody's trash can. Um, there's some neighborhoods where they just throw out really good stuff, and it's kind of like I don't think in some of those neighborhoods I don't even think it's trash. It's things that they don't really feel like getting like putting going through the effort of getting rid of it. So you just put it on the curb, and somebody will take it. Well, they call that free cycling now. That's a whole other thing, right? Yo, what up, Chris? Chris says, I remember those days. Shh, Mom, I'm taping. I'm taping. Shh. Don't tell me to shush. Good to see you, bro. The Nano. Wait, I guess that was the first Nano. Was that, or was there were different Nanos, but they were different sizes? July says, I make seasonal playlists on the three main DSPs, Apple Music, Spotify, and Tidal. Been doing it for about 5 years. I can't even roll with you, July. You're too hot. This is why it's so hot. Smoking. This watch tells time in 4 different time zones. That was a bad Trading Places riff. I totally forgot the scene where Dan Aykroyd's trying to sell his Rolex to Bo Diddley. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's it. So, I mean, I don't know where all this stuff was going to, but I just know that it's weird. It's like I almost feel like we just get so much stuff and get so much stuff, and then you're kind of targeted. Oh, here's something I can talk about. You know, have any of you felt, and this is probably like super true with everybody. All right, Fletch, I got you. Let me get through the story. I'm going to forget. Do you ever feel like you say things out in the world, and then the next thing you know, there's a targeted ad in your email, or it goes across your book of faces, or the or the gram? There was one time I was we were driving into New York, and we were like about to get on the GWB, and I got cut off by a Maserati, and I was like, huh, a Maserati. Like, I was less upset of getting cut off because it's just New York and that's just what happens. But I was like, huh, Maserati. I don't think I've ever seen a Maserati. I don't think I've seen a Maserati in person in a long time. When I got to my destination, I checked my phone. There's ads for Maseratis on it. But a couple of days ago, I got this weird email ad for this, like, I don't know. I don't even want to say it. It's not like it's spicy, but it's just like this thing I got has nothing to do with me. I don't talk about it. I don't I don't purchase the stuff, but it was there, and then I like deleted it or said, this is irrelevant to my interests, and they keep popping up. Does anybody have any stories like that? What is that about? That's got to be beyond the algorithm. Are they all listening to you? Are they? So some of that stuff makes me not even really want to have a smart home. I know some of you guys love Alexa, and you love your Siri, and you love your what was the joint from Halo? You love it, and I just like. I mean, I already don't feel like I can't trust this stuff, but I don't know. I'd love to hear some stories about that. Oh, JRD. Oh, Matt says, we know what you think. We can see inside your head. JRD comments on my mug. Lars Lazarus, have you hopped on Jim's lives? He's drawing the videos live sometime. No, I'm kind of out of touch with Jim. We got to get back on that. I'm so upset that he canceled Jim TV. Jim TV was when Jim Lujan was doing like 4-hour video blocks on Facebook. Yo, that thing was jumping. You go in there, there's like 50 people in there, and just the comments were Guitar Heroing. I couldn't keep up, man. It was exhausting, but it was really fun. But I'll have to get with him. And I'll do the coffee check, Fletch. JRD says there are permissions given unless you really dig that let your phone and devices listen 24/7 and turn those into targeted ads. But you know what? It's funny. I want to think like, how are there still missing people? If they can listen to your crap, and all of a sudden you get camping equipment, REI ads in your phone, just because you're like, you know what? I need a new hammock. They can't find people that go missing. I don't know. That always bothered me. All right, July, I got you. Let me do this coffee check for Fletch. Coffee check. All right, y'all. What are we working with? So we started from the top. Now we here. I gotta move your face, Fletch. All right, we started at 100. Y'all, y'all ain't gonna like this. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt, y'all. That means we're almost out of coffee. You know what happens then? July says, "Oh, we got a Kilroy about the phone and digital assistants." As E40 Water said before, they might be taping. Oh man, you think they taping? Gotta be careful on the phones because them folks might be taping. He did the whole John. Gotta be careful on the phones because some folks might be taping. Yo man, they taping. Yo, don't let nobody dub it. Don't let your mans dub it. That's a real rap. Yeah, I mean it's just they're the things that we gave up, right? For convenience. Hey man, location services. Yeah, like I have this thing, like once in a while on my phone it's like, hey JN, let's talk about the places you've been last month. And it's like there's nothing, because I haven't been anywhere. Right? So again, that kind of makes me feel like Chris, like, how can they not find this missing kid? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's grim. All right, let's do an ID. I feel like I'm coming down. You're watching Coffee Break with JN. I'm JN, your internet best friend, the ambassador of Philadelphia, PM John, the Black Dusty Roads, and your your unlicensed therapist. Hello. What happens here? Well, you get to hang out with me, cartoonist Jamar Nicholas, watch me drink coffee and run my mouth. And when I'm out of coffee, you gotta go back to your own life, bruh. And I gotta give another shout out, a big dookie dope shout out to my caffeines. You know who you are, caffeines. The friends and regulars, not decaf, of Coffee Break with JN. I was gonna do another little hit for the Patreon, not the Ko-fi, the coffee. I don't even use that. I set it up. I've never used it. Where we had a really great It Ain't Hard to Tell with my man Mike Hawthorne, artist of DC's Wonder Woman. And we laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And then we answered questions from our patronuses. And it was a lot of fun. And people will tell you, if you're part of my gang, It Ain't Hard to Tell is popping. There are a lot of people that say the price of their Patreon support is just, it's fulfilled just by having It Ain't Hard to Tell twice a month. But we talked about the Deadass Avengers, Black Twitter. We talked a lot about making the comic book sausage. It was a great episode. And what's cool about it is you can watch. We've done, JRD, what was the last one? 32 of them. That's a lot. And I don't think we've missed 1 week. I mean, one fortnight. And they're really incredible. We had a lot of fun. I don't really advertise that stuff. Mike does a lot more advertising than I do for his stuff. But, it's all really appreciated. And, even if it's not for you, tell your mans. JRT says gold LeMay hoodies. Right. Yeah, today was number 32. JRD is the abacus keeper of all things Patreon. Oh, and JRD just dropped the link for his AMA. I was starting to watch it and I got distracted, but I'm going to go back to it. JRD, put a link up in the chat for your Patreon so they can check that out. And also, let's do a business card swap, you guys. Anybody that's making their own money, ugly people, be quiet. Put in the chat your business website or your Instagram or whatever. Let's trade business cards, y'all. Throw them up, and they'll be in the chat. I'm not going to put them on the screen, so you have some privacy. Or maybe you want it on the screen. I don't know. So if you make wave brushes or like terry cloth do rags, get at them. Because this is what we do here at Coffee Break. We're sharers, right? We come together, hopefully to have a meetup in person. So you guys are going to have to tell me who's going to be the czar of meetups. Who's going to be the Coffee Break czar? It can't be me. I mean, I'll go, but I don't think I could fit in actually booking something also. But you guys tell me what you want to do, and I'll totally show up. It's funny that I remember the end of the message board era. Back before, everybody had a live journal on MySpace or Facebook or those things, and everybody was like congregating on message boards. And some of the big ones, and I don't know how spicy this is, was like the WEF, the Warren Ellis Forum. I was really involved in the Mob Forum. And if you guys remember that was Mac, Oming, and Bendis. And I was a friend of Oming. Sip of coffee from my man Mike Avon Oming. I see you out there, bro. I had the Indie Cred All Stars, and Mike Hawthorne brought up on the podcast last night that he had a forum because I had space on my website. If you guys, some of you guys don't go back this far with me, my first self-publishing house, sweatshoppress.com. And on the sweatshoppress.com site, I had forum space. And that's where the original JNN came from, the Jamar Nicholas Network. And I had a lot of people on there. Mike Norton was on there. Rick Remender, I gave him space. Hawthorne. I can't remember half the cats that were on there. But there were just like a lot of people who didn't have a spot at that point. And I was like, yeah, man, just go ahead. Here's the keys. And it was popping for a while, and then something else happened, and everybody disappeared. Because technology was just like a ocean wave, and things were happening so fast. But it was fun for the time, and I think it got my name out there a little bit more, because people were like, yo, what's the JNN? Oh, that guy? Is that? Really? Yo, what up, E? Good to see you. Yo, what's with that spicy graphic? I wasn't ready for that. JRD says, Kidlit and I name dropped you in Hawthorne and gave out your links in the P2P link. Yo, that's what's up. That's a GLL. Good looking out. Thanks, bro. So it's weird, right? Because now we're at the beginning of back to school, whatever that means to you. I don't want to get into a mask debate. But if Do you have like fall plans? Not like we're going to go to a comic book convention, but kind of like, I feel like these season switches are big, kind of like mental refresh buttons. Like, okay, it's fall, we got to go get clothes for the kids. I guess I'll clean out my car. As we got to do this, and then we're gonna go to the flower place to get some mums for the front of the house. Do any of you guys have fall rituals that you do? Like, do you put out like a wreath on your door of your house, or do you clean the windows? I'd love to hear some of the things you do to kind of get ready for the fall. I guess it's like the opposite of spring cleaning. It's like autumn cleanup before you got to do the leaves. Yo, E, I like that. Apple picking. Have you ever gone apple picking before? Stuff like that is fun, and it sounds like mad rural, right? Like, yo, we city kids, we don't do that. But, it's really like, I've gone pumpkin picking, and I'm just like, how did I get here? But no, that's really cool. Oh, word. And I buy those cinnamon brooms to inspire my inner hoodoo. Some of those, like the Trader Joe's cinnamon brooms, is mad strong. Like, it was like we had one or two for a while, and I remember like it was cool at first. Now my nostrils burning, but and then at some point the smell just stops, and it's just a broom in your house. But yeah, I like those cinnamon brooms. Oh, how about? Oh, I don't even want to talk about pumpkin spice latte. Who's a pumpkin head up in here? Sip of coffee for my pumpkin heads. I gotta say, and maybe I'm starting to think I love pumpkin beer. This is my season for some nice pumpkin beers. If anybody has any good brands of pumpkin beer, let me know. Or he can ship them to my PO box. Matt says our fall rituals to get really busy at work and not to get have any fun. I'm sorry, brother. That's really sweet. You're gonna have a great time. Take lots of pictures. Yeah, Chris, Linvilla Orchards. Always a wreath on the front door. Aretha Franklin. Yeah, that's the spot. You go out to the orchards and you go get some pumpkins or apples or whatever. It's really fun. I remember kind of like getting indoctrinated into stuff like that, and I was like, yo, I'm such a city dude. I'm mad uncomfortable. I'm gonna sit in the car. Like I don't even want to get out, yo. But then you kind of like it's like Disney magic if you've ever been to Walt Disney and you were fighting it, and then at some point you just gotta let it go and let it wash over you. Yo, pumpkin beer is hot, and I know a lot of people were like, ugh, pumpkin season. I'm not for it, but pumpkin beer is dope. I think I have some Voodoo Ranger pumpkin beer in the fridge right now. Oh, Chris representing pumpkin creamer. Is that like a coffee mate brand? Matt says actually fall means I get to start watching horror movies and complaining about the leaves. Oh, the leaves. One of my favorite. This is like an early Walking Dead meme from the TV show. Was Lori shaking her head, and it said at the bottom of the thing, "So much laundry." I love that character. Like they couldn't wait to kill her off with the show. The fans hated her. Yo, y'all in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. You can play about laundry. You talk about practice. Oh, that's what. Yo, there's a name for this? Erica says, I used to watch Little House on the Prairie, sip of coffee for Little House on the Prairie with my grandma, so I like to embrace a cottage core aesthetic. Cottage core! Sip of coffee for Michael Landon. Oh, Silk. Yeah, that's what's up. We talked about oat milk. That's my lane right now. I rocks heavy with oat milk. Jamal says, my 11-year-old wants to know what Jesus... Yo, y'all gonna take me off free internet. Yo, what up, Steven? Good to see you, brother. Sip of coffee for N. Stephen Harris, master cartoonist. Sorry, Jamal. We'll have to have an intervention. E says, my daughter loves oat milk ice cream. Oh, you're killing me with that graphic. Oh, I can't show that anymore. I'm going to have an FCC all over me. Anybody else have any fall rituals? How do you guys feel about the back to school picture? Like, that's a whole new thing. Like, I guess since like social media, like Facebook world, everybody has their kids standing on the steps with their backpack or holding the chalkboard that says, my first day of school. Do you do that? No cap. If you do that, that's cool. I just want to know where that, like, how did that happen? And is it, I mean, I don't know. Like, if you go in like any old head's house and they have like all of your school pictures in a row or in like a little brick, and you just watch your bad haircuts as you age. I think that's the new era of that. Is like somebody has a, I don't know, a zip drive, a zip disk. I just showed my age. External hard drive with all of your back to school pictures on it. I don't know. Well, this was fun, you guys. I'm going to start wrapping it up. The energy was kind of weird tonight, but we had fun. We talk about the same stuff all the time, but we just remix it. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for my coffee break. This is my coffee break. I actually stop what I'm doing because I'm about to ruin the image and nostalgia usage and drink coffee, and then I go back to work. Sue says fall means beef stew, stroganoff, chicken, and dumplings. Is it Thursday yet? Yo, I need some chicken and dumplings. Yo, I gotta get that. I feel you, JRD. But you know what? We're all adults, right? We can handle this. And oh, this is interesting because last night on Pencil to Pencil, I don't think anybody was really cursing. I think maybe Ron, threw a couple of words out, and like we've never really talked about like Working Blue on the shows. And somebody was in the oh wait, was it Suze who said something about the censor button? But once in a while, I hear somebody go like, "Yo, language." And I wonder how you guys feel about it. Is it weird to hear people curse on a live? Is that verboten? Like, I don't know. Do you guys sit here and watch me talk about old people stuff with your kids sitting next to you? Maybe that'll be the last thing we talk about. Then I'll get out of here because it'll give me something to think about for next time. Yo, Jim Lujan, yo, sip of coffee. I'm representing Lars Lazarus. This is my favorite mug. While I'm drinking out of it. Jim says, coming in at the bottom of the ninth, but I get to see a grand slam. Peace, Jamar. I need to shave. Thanks, brother. Yo, Jim, give everybody a link to your YouTube and tell us what you're doing right now. You got a new series out. JRD says, I make a big deal about coarse language if I'm on a show because my audience is generally 12 and under. Okay, that makes sense. El Jamal says, I curse like a sailor. My kids live life unfiltered. I like your energy. I have a friend and family who has cursed, and then when he had kids, his kid he was like, I'm not gonna stop cursing, right? And it's just like it's kind of refreshing, you know what I mean? That's like the dude Gary V, and people were like, how come you can't wear a tie? Why don't you stop cursing? He was like, yo, I don't live for you. I'll say what I want, and you're still going to pay me. And they're like, you're right. They write him a check. Matt says, for some reason, cursing doesn't bother me when the cursor covers their mouth. Like, I don't know why that makes the difference. Oh, I'm sorry. Could I not say that? Well, you said it. There you go. Jamal says, my grandmother would curse and then say, excuse my French. That's so funny. All right, you guys. You know what Suze would say. Say y'all goodbyes now, y'all. Hold on, everybody. Let's freeze real quick. We got to get one more Suze pose in. I just have this vision of everybody doing that at the same time. Suze pose. So Suze, when you change your photo, we're gonna have to figure out something else. There it is. Good night, caffeines. Had a great coffee break tonight. Thank you so much. Oh, hold on. July says cursing doesn't bother me because I'd be outside. That's right. Curse in your outside voice. All right, you guys. Let's put this to bed. Yo, y'all have a good night. It was great seeing y'all. Love you all. Love my caffeines. What would Jamar do? I love it. You have been watching Coffee Break with JN. With your man JN. That's right. Rocking the bucket. What do we or fisherman, or nobody can figure out what my hat is. Coming to you in through the video scope, giving you that good talk, bringing you to Tabernacle. We do this every Thursday night at 9 p.m. EST. The greatest man alive. Oh yeah. Is it next Thursday yet? Can we play D&D now? Thank you guys. I love you. So what happens here? Oh man, I lost my banner. So what happens here on Coffee Break with JN? You got to hang out with me, Jamar Nicholas, the Grand Poobah of comics, in your internet safe space. And you got to watch me run my mouth and drink coffee. Drink coffee. Yeah, good, Chris. And run my mouth. And now that I'm out of coffee. Ooh, one more time. Have a good one.